In this video on Objective 5.3, we are going to be given an equation of a line and a point. And we are going to be asked to write the equation in slope-intercept form of a different line, a line that contains the given point, and is A, parallel to this one, and B, we'll do it where it's perpendicular to this line. So for each example, there's two problems to do. One, you find the equation of a line that goes through this point and is parallel to this line, and then we're going to find the equation of a line that contains this point and is perpendicular to this line. So let's do part A. The line we're going to write the equation for contains negative 15, 4, and it is parallel to the line that has this equation. So A. We're given the point negative 15, 4, and we can figure out the slope we need. The slope of the line that we're going to write the equation for is exactly the same as the slope of this line, because we're writing the equation of a line that is parallel to this equation. So it has the exact same slope, 2/3. So there are two ways of doing it. You can use the slope-intercept form to start, or you can use the point-slope form and then convert to slope-intercept form. I'm going to try the first method. I'm going to start with y equals mx plus b. I think you did this method last year. You take the formula and then you substitute in everything you have, and the only thing you won't have is b. So you'll solve for b, and then the final step is to write the equation in the form y equals mx plus b, with your slope m and with your intercept b. So we have a point here. It has a y coordinate of 4. M, we know the slope is 2/3. And we have an x coordinate, which is negative 15. So I'm going to put it as negative 15 over 1, because I'm multiplying by a fraction. So a fraction times a fraction is easier for me. Now we have plus b. B is the only thing I don't know. I don't know the y-intercept. Okay, so what I need to do is simplify and then isolate the unknown b. So I have 2/3 times negative 15 all over 3 times 1. Okay, I'll go ahead and do basic fractions math where you multiply across. I have negative 30 over 3. And now I have plus b. Okay, going to continue on. Negative 30 over b is negative 10 plus b. Okay, so if I add 10 to both sides, I've learned that 14 is equal to b. So now I know what b is, and I already knew what m is. So the equation is y equals an m of 2/3 times x plus a b of 14. That's what I was asked to do. I have now found the equation of the line that is parallel to this line and contains this point. Okay, now let's see, maybe I can scroll down and do part B. I'm going to do that. Let's look at this now. I'm going to do this first example, but part B, I'll use a new color so it stands out. Okay, part B, they want us to find the equation of the line that is perpendicular to this given line. So this line I'm writing the equation for contains the point negative 15, 4, and it has a slope equal to the opposite reciprocal of this slope, because I want the perpendicular line. So the opposite sign and the reciprocal. Cool. Easy breezy. Y equals mx plus b. I'll substitute in everything I have. I have a y, I have an x, I have a y, I have an x, and I have a slope m. So 4 is equal to the slope of -3/2 times the x of -15 plus b, unknown b. So let's see, -3 times -15. Here, I'm going to use this space here. I have 4 equals +45 all over 2 times 1, 2, plus b. -3 times -15 is +45. 2 times 1 is 2. So I have 4 equals 45 over 2 plus b. So I'm going to subtract 45 over 2 from both sides. And I have b equals, I've got 4 minus 45 over 2. So I need to get the same denominator. So what if I think of this as 4 over 1, and then I multiply the top and the bottom by 2. So I have 8 over 2 minus 45 over 2 equals b. So 8 minus 45, okay, b is 8 minus 45, -73 over 2. So that's an ugly looking b, but I don't care. Let me make some room. I'm going to write my final answer. I go back to y equals mx plus b because I was asked to give my answer in slope-intercept form. So I have a generic y. I have the slope of -3/2 because it was the perpendicular slope times x plus -37 over 2, minus 37 over 2. That is the equation of the line that is perpendicular to this line and contains this point. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back and do the second example. Second example, we've got an equation 2x minus y equals 8, and it has contains the point 14 comma -12. So we are going to find the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that is a parallel to this one that contains this point, and then later we'll do b. It's going to be perpendicular to this line and contain that point. So first thing we need to do is figure out what is the slope of this line. This given line is given in standard form, so we need to rewrite it so that it's in a form where we recognize the slope. So we want it to look like y equals mx plus b, so we can take the m there and use it for slope. So we need y all by itself. So what can we do to isolate the y? Well, we've got a positive 2x here, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And 2x minus 2x, it leaves negative y equals negative 2x plus 8. Now you could have written 8 minus 2x, but I like negative 2x plus 8 because it's starting to look like y equals mx plus b. The only problem is slope-intercept form does not care about negative y, it only cares about positive y. So let's divide both sides by -1, or let's multiply both sides by -1. Ultimately, we're going to get positive y equals, okay, negative 2x divided by -1 is 2x, plus 8 divided by -1 is -8. So this is the equation that we are given. So, oops, I'm going to rewrite it up here. So instead of looking at it as 2x minus y equals 8, I'm going to think of it as y equals 2x minus 8. Those are exactly the same lines in different form. Okay. So now in part A, we're finding the equation of the line that contains this, this point, 14 comma negative 12, and has this slope. Well, in part A, we're finding lines that are parallel to the given line. So parallel slopes have exactly this, parallel lines have exactly the same slope. So we're using the same slope, the slope of 2. So we'll go to y equals mx plus b, and we'll substitute in everything we know. We've got a y of negative 12. We've got a slope of 2. We've got an x of 14. And we have an unknown y-intercept b. So now we have negative 12 equals 28 plus b. So when we subtract 28 from both sides, looks like we will get negative 40 equals b. So now we have b and we have m. So we can write the equation y equals mx plus b. M of 2 times x plus negative 40, which is minus 40. So this is the equation of the line that contains this point and is parallel to this line. Okay, so B. We need to write the equation of the line that contains this point, 14 comma negative 12, and has is perpendicular to this line. So if the line we need to write the equation for is perpendicular to this line, what is the slope? Well, this line has a slope of 2, so the perpendicular line has a slope of the opposite reciprocal, negative 1/2. So now that we've used what we know about perpendicular slopes to find the slope we need, we'll just go to y equals mx plus b, and we'll substitute in everything we know. We've got a y of negative 12, we've got a slope of negative 1/2, we've got an x of 14, and an unknown b. So we've got negative 12 equals negative, a half of 14 is 7. A negative half of 14 is negative 7. Okay, so now we can add 7 to both sides, and we'll find that b is negative 5. So b is negative 5. The slope is negative 1/2. So our equation for the line that was perpendicular to the given line is going to look like this. It's going to be y equals negative 1/2 x minus 5. That is the answer for part B.